Hello there, how are you doing? Now, continuing on from the previous lesson, we had a long talk, but I'm sure that long talk made you understand. Okay, so what we need to do is we want to make sure our children, whoever extending us, they implement certain methods for sure. For that, first thing we need to do is we need to make our class abstract class. Okay, so the way we can do that is simply adding the abstract keyword in the front. Okay, so customer class, we added abstract, so we made it abstract class. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we're going to define, so right after this constructor, okay, right after this construct method, let's define some abstract methods. Okay, so these methods we are defining because we want to make sure our children, whoever extend us, implement this method. Okay, so the problem we had when we tried to run this code, because it was implemented by children, so there was an error. We can do it, we can type in like that. We didn't want to go and type in based on the children. All these methods, the children have these three methods: get monthly fee, get amount to borrow, and get type. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, go to customer, and I'm going to say, let's create this abstract methods. Okay, public, sorry, begin with abstract, and public function get monthly fee. Right, this is one of the method implemented by children. Okay, you want to do it, doesn't matter, do it, but I define here as a parent. So get monthly fee. Another one they have is get amount to borrow. Copy that, paste that in. Next one is get type, and it is same for premium as well. Okay, so do that. Now what happened is they're extending customer class. It is an abstract class now, and it has specified these three abstract methods. Okay, the rest of the content can stay here, no problem. Okay, so all this can stay here, no problem, but these methods, the children have to implement these methods. Okay, so as you can see, we're just specifying the method, we're not writing the actual code. Okay, we just say you do this, you know, so we define the methods here: static methods, abstract methods. Abstract methods like this will force all the children that extend this class to implement them. Okay, simple as that. To init.php, and before we try this out, one thing about abstract class is that they cannot be instantiated. Okay, so like we did here, customer, new customer, we can't do that. Abstract class cannot be instantiated. Let's refresh, and what do we see here? Uncaught error, cannot instantiate abstract class, as you can see. So why we did all this work if we can't instantiate? Because now we will instantiate the basic, premium, and all that stuff. But when we type int, we don't have to worry about basic, premium, this and that. We just type into the main class. Okay, we just type into the main class, and then when we instantiate, we can instantiate whatever we want. Okay, so that's the benefit. Now it might not make a lot of sense because we are all doing in the same file here, trying everything here, but in a bigger application you will clearly see the difference. Okay, when you work in a big frameworks like Laravel, then you will understand all this. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to import, I need to use bookstore domain customer basic. Okay, first let's do the basic, and we'll implement we'll bring in premium as well. Now instead of instantiating customer, I use the basic. Okay, now basic doesn't have this first name, last name, email, and all that, but because it is extending customer, and customer is extending person, it reaches there from very down to the top, it reaches. So as a result, we can instantiate like so. Okay, so let's save this one. So instead of instantiating customer, I instantiated basic. Okay, now we still have this check valid, we still type hinting the main customer. So let's see how it works. Refresh, as you can see, true. We can borrow. How cool is that? A lot of work, but the point here is to understand how things work, how this class, this basic classes extend from customer extend from there. As a result, this basic class have all the access to the properties and methods of customer as well as person. And when we instantiate, we cannot instantiate the main class because it has been abstract. However, we instantiate whether we want basic or premium, but we can still type in the main class. How beautiful is that? Now I know you must have been tired, right? But before I close this video, just one more thing, let's do it. Okay, so this check valid function takes type in the customer. That works for the children ones, that extending this one, so that's the beauty. Now second argument was books. Now this books, in our case it was only one. Now we're testing out the basic, and as you can see, the basic has, it can borrow up to 3. Okay, so what happens if we borrow more than 3? Do we get this to false? Well, we should, right, if it is working. So why don't we quickly test that out, and then we can say goodbye. So let me copy this, and let me paste 3 more times. Okay, so we have total 4 instances, and simply name it, leave it as it is. Let's add 1, let's add 2 to this one, and let's add 3. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, we have 4 instances of the book. Okay, now check if valid, it was only 1 count, so just 1. But now let's put it in an array. Okay, now let me copy this, okay, and comma separated, let me paste 3 more times. So we got 4 books, we borrowed 4 books. Okay, so change that to 1, change that to 2, change that to 3. Now let's save this one. Now before we were only borrowing 1, so we got to see the true, but now we are borrowing 4. Let's see what we get. Let me refresh. As you can see, it's false, can't borrow. Okay, this is it for abstract class. Now all these concepts that you're learning here will be extremely helpful to understand the framework, how it works behind the scene. Okay, so you'll be at home. All right, so this is it. In the next video, we're going to talk about interface. That's one of the last difficult concept, but now that you have already understand the abstract, it will be pretty easy. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.